Let's start by looking at the very basics, your spending rate. It's easy to assume that just having a large number in your bank account is enough to feel secure. But here's the reality. Your savings don't last forever if your spending outpaces what you've set aside. The first step is to understand exactly how much you're spending every month. This isn't just about bills, it's groceries, hobbies, travel, gifts, even that daily coffee. Write it all down. Get real with yourself. Once you have a clear picture, you can start mapping it against your total savings. Think of your money like a reservoir. Each month you withdraw, the level drops. If you keep taking out more than what's sustainable, you'll hit empty much sooner than expected. Understanding this simple math is the foundation of any financial strategy. Now, let's talk about inflation, this silent eroder of wealth. Inflation might seem like a boring concept, but it's one of the biggest threats to your savings. Every year, the cost of living increases, and what feels like a comfortable nest egg today may not cover the same lifestyle 10 or 20 years down the line. For example, $50 in a year might feel enough right now, but with even a modest 3% annual inflation, it won't stretch nearly as far in the future. Ignoring inflation is a common mistake. It's not enough to just calculate your savings. You have to consider how their purchasing power will change over time. By planning with inflation in mind, you give yourself a realistic view of what you'll actually need and avoid unpleasant surprises later. Next, let's discuss withdrawal strategies. This is where your savings can either last decades or disappear within a few years. One common approach is to set a safe withdrawal rate, usually around 3% to 4% per year of your total portfolio. This means if you have 500,000 saved, you could withdraw roughly 15,000 to 20,000 a year without significantly risking running out of money too soon. Of course, this isn't a fixed rule, but it's a starting point to help you manage withdrawals in a way that balances lifestyle and long-term security. By sticking to a calculated approach rather than guessing month to month, you give your money the chance to last, grow, and support you throughout retirement. Finally, planning for the unexpected is non-negotiable. Life doesn't always follow the plan, and expenses can pop up when you least expect them. Medical emergencies, car repairs, home maintenance, or even sudden lifestyle changes. The key is to have a buffer built into your savings and withdrawal plan. Think of it as insurance against surprises. Even small adjustments, like reducing discretionary spending or creating an emergency fund within your retirement portfolio, can significantly extend the life of your savings. Being prepared for the unexpected doesn't just protect your money, it protects your peace of mind. When you combine all of these elements, tracking your spending, accounting for inflation, implementing a safe withdrawal strategy, and planning for surprises, you move from guessing how long your savings will last to having a clear, confident plan. And that clarity allows you to make decisions today that ensure your money is not just sitting in an account, but actually supporting the life you want to live for decades to come. Let's dig deeper into understanding your spending rate versus your savings. Many people think that simply having a large sum of money in the bank guarantees security, but the reality is far more nuanced. The first and most critical step is to have a complete and honest picture of your spending habits. This means going beyond just the obvious monthly bills like rent, mortgage, or utilities. Every expense counts: groceries, subscriptions, hobbies, dining out, gifts, travel, and even those small daily purchases you might not think about. Each dollar you spend chips away at your savings, and if you don't have a clear grasp of where your money is going, you risk running out faster than you expect. Begin by tracking your expenses meticulously over a few months. Use spreadsheets, budgeting apps, or even just a simple notebook. Categorize your spending so you can identify patterns and areas where money might be leaking without adding meaningful value to your life. Once you have a clear picture of your monthly expenditures, compare it against your total savings. This is where the math starts to become very real. Imagine your savings as a reservoir and your monthly spending as water flowing out. If the outflow is greater than what your reservoir can sustain over time, it will eventually run dry. Many people overestimate how long their savings will last because they underestimate their actual spending or fail to account for small, recurring costs that quietly accumulate. The difference between a comfortable retirement and financial stress often comes down to this precise understanding. Knowing your exact spending rate allows you to make informed decisions about lifestyle choices, withdrawals, and long-term planning. Another key factor is distinguishing between essential and discretionary spending. Essentials include necessities like housing, utilities, food, healthcare, and transportation. Discretionary spending covers things like entertainment, vacations, and luxury items. When planning for longevity, it's important to ensure that essential expenses are fully covered first. Then, you can make strategic decisions about how much to allocate to discretionary spending without jeopardizing the overall sustainability of your savings. This kind of careful budgeting allows you to enjoy your retirement and life without constantly worrying about running out of money. Tracking spending also reveals habits that can be adjusted to extend the lifespan of your savings. For example, simple lifestyle changes, like cooking at home more often, canceling underused subscriptions, or reducing impulsive purchases can free up hundreds or even thousands of dollars annually. Small, consistent adjustments compound over time, giving your savings more room to grow and last longer. The more precise and disciplined you are in understanding your spending, the better equipped you are to create a realistic and actionable plan that aligns with your financial goals and lifestyle aspirations. By being proactive and informed, you gain control over your money rather than letting it control you. Now let's focus on the impact of inflation on your savings, because this is one of the most overlooked but powerful forces that can erode your financial security over time. Inflation is the gradual rise in the cost of goods and services, and while a few percentage points per year might not seem like much, its effect compounds significantly over decades. For example, what feels like a comfortable 50 zalzin a year today may not even cover basic expenses 20 years from now if you don't plan for inflation. Many people assume that their savings in a bank account or investment portfolio will maintain their purchasing power. But ignoring inflation can quietly reduce the value of your nest egg, leaving you less financially secure than you think. Understanding this effect is crucial for anyone who wants their savings to last. One practical way to see the impact is to calculate the future value of today's money. If inflation averages 3% per year, a simple item costing 100 today would cost around 180 in 20 years. That same 100 zaluzin you've saved won't stretch as far as you initially imagined. This is why failing to factor in inflation can turn what seems like a solid plan into a financial struggle. It's not just about maintaining the lifestyle you're used to. It's about preserving your ability to cover essentials, enjoy discretionary activities, and manage emergencies without dipping too deeply into principle. By anticipating inflation, you can take steps to ensure that your money retains its value and continues to work for you over the long term. To counteract inflation, you need to consider investment strategies that outpace it. Simply keeping cash in a savings account might feel safe, but the returns are often lower than the inflation rate, effectively reducing your real wealth over time. Diversifying your portfolio with investments like stocks, bonds, or other assets that historically outperform inflation can help preserve and grow your money. The key is balance. You want growth to combat inflation, but you also need stability so that your principal remains accessible when you need it. Many retirees and savers make the mistake of underestimating the time horizon they're planning for. Even moderate inflation over a 30-year retirement can significantly impact how long your savings last if you don't account for it in advance. Inflation also interacts with your lifestyle choices. As costs rise, you may need to adjust your spending habits or reduce discretionary expenditures to maintain the same financial safety net. Being proactive and realistic about rising prices allows you to make informed decisions rather than reacting in crisis mode. Planning for inflation doesn't mean living frugally or avoiding enjoyment. It means making strategic choices to ensure that the lifestyle you want today is sustainable in the future. By incorporating inflation into your calculations, you gain clarity on what you truly need, what adjustments might be necessary, and how to structure your withdrawals so that your savings continue to provide security and peace of mind. ChatGPT said next, let's explore safe withdrawal strategies. Because knowing how to take money out of your savings without draining them prematurely is critical to long-term financial security. Many people retire with a substantial nest egg, but without a clear plan for withdrawals, they risk depleting it too quickly. The key is to strike a balance between covering your expenses and preserving your principal for the years ahead. One widely recognized approach is to determine a sustainable withdrawal rate, often suggested around 3% to 4% of your total portfolio annually. This means if you have 500,000 saved, withdrawing roughly 15,000 to 20,000 each year allows you to maintain a stable income while giving your investments time to grow and compound. While the exact rate depends on factors like life expectancy, investment performance, and personal spending habits, the principle remains the same. Structured withdrawals are safer than guessing month to month. A critical aspect of this strategy is flexibility. Life circumstances change, market conditions fluctuate, and expenses are rarely static. A safe withdrawal plan incorporates adjustments based on these variables. For instance, during years when investments perform well, you may be able to slightly increase your withdrawals, while in years of lower returns, it may be necessary to scale back. This dynamic approach helps ensure that your savings remain resilient even in uncertain financial climates. Without such a plan, retirees often face the temptation to overspend early on, which can compromise financial stability later. By treating withdrawals as a calculated decision rather than an automatic spending pattern, you give your money a much better chance of lasting through retirement. Another important factor is prioritizing sources of income. Many retirees have a mix of savings, pensions, and Social Security or other income streams. Structuring withdrawals to maximize tax efficiency and preserve assets is essential. For example, tapping taxable accounts first or drawing strategically from tax-advantaged accounts can reduce tax burdens and extend the longevity of your portfolio. A well-thought-out withdrawal strategy is not just about numbers, it's about sequencing, timing, and understanding how different income sources interact with your overall financial picture. This approach reduces unnecessary stress, allows for smoother cash flow, and helps prevent running out of funds prematurely. Safe withdrawal strategies also account for lifestyle and discretionary spending. While it's tempting to spend freely after decades of saving, maintaining a realistic budget aligned with your portfolio's sustainability is crucial. This doesn't mean eliminating enjoyment. Rather, it's about making deliberate decisions that allow you to live comfortably while safeguarding your future. Regularly reviewing your withdrawal plan, adjusting for changes in expenses, and monitoring investment performance ensures that your strategy remains effective over time. By combining discipline, foresight, and flexibility, you create a system where your savings support your retirement goals rather than dictating them. Planning for unexpected expenses and lifestyle changes is one of the most critical elements of making your savings last. Yet it's often overlooked. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how carefully you plan, unforeseen costs can arise at any moment. Medical emergencies, home repairs, car breakdowns, or sudden family obligations can quickly deplete savings if you're not prepared. Even seemingly minor surprises, like a replacement appliance or a small renovation, can add up over time. The key is to build a buffer within your financial plan, a reserve specifically set aside to absorb these shocks without disrupting your long-term strategy. This safety net provides peace of mind, allowing you to face uncertainties without panicking or compromising your lifestyle. To start, it's important to quantify potential emergencies realistically. Consider the average costs for healthcare, home maintenance, and transportation, and include a margin for unpredictability. This gives you a tangible target for an emergency reserve, separate from your regular withdrawal plan. Having this cushion doesn't just protect your savings, it allows you to make better financial decisions because you know you have a fallback option. Many people underestimate the impact of unexpected expenses and rely on the illusion that their savings alone are sufficient. Without a dedicated buffer, even a moderate unplanned cost can force you to withdraw more than is safe, potentially jeopardizing the longevity of your portfolio. Lifestyle changes are another factor that can influence how long your savings last. Retirement often brings new opportunities and desires. Travel, hobbies, relocating, or pursuing passions you didn't have time for during your working years. While these activities enhance quality of life, they also require funding. Planning ahead for lifestyle changes ensures that you can enjoy these experiences without drawing down your savings too quickly. This requires an honest assessment of the lifestyle you want and realistic budgeting to accommodate it. It's about prioritizing spending on what truly matters while being mindful of the cumulative impact on your financial plan. Flexibility is essential when managing both unexpected expenses and lifestyle changes. Your financial plan should be dynamic, capable of adapting to new realities. Regularly reviewing your portfolio, adjusting withdrawals, and re-evaluating priorities ensures that your strategy remains aligned with your circumstances. For instance, if a major expense arises, temporarily reducing discretionary spending or delaying certain non-essential purchases can protect the overall integrity of your savings. This approach fosters resilience and allows you to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence rather than fear. Ultimately, preparing for the unpredictable is not just about safeguarding money. It's about protecting your peace of mind. When you build a buffer for emergencies and anticipate lifestyle changes, you create a safety net that allows your savings to endure. You gain freedom to live life on your terms, knowing that surprises won't derail your financial future. By integrating this foresight into your planning, you ensure that your hard-earned savings are not only preserved, but positioned to support a fulfilling, secure, and flexible life over the long term.